Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Holy Comforter Episcopal Church YouTube Bible study. I'm Jimmy Abbott, and we're going to look at Mark chapter 8, verses 31 through 38. That's the gospel lesson for the second Sunday in Lent 2021. I want to focus in on the last verse, and I'm going to read it. Those who are ashamed of me, this is Jesus talking, and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of them the Son of Man will also be ashamed when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. So let's talk a little bit about something that is just out there in the ether, in the culture. People talk about the end times. The end times, describing a near, maybe, cataclysmic event or series of events in which there will be a great, rending, upheaval, end of the world. It's a whole sort of mishmash of different ideas and whatnot. I have lots of people, and I hear lots of people say, we must be living in the end times. There are all these crazy things going on, so that it really just must be a sign of the end. I saw some guy on YouTube talking about a prophecy. Well, let me be that guy on YouTube. I think the whole idea of the end times is totally made up. That's not what Jesus is talking about here or in other places, and I don't think it's what St. Paul was talking about either, or what's in the book of Revelation. So often when we talk about the end times, that's stuff that's just been made up in the past couple of hundred years. It's not scriptural. It's not really deeply rooted in the Christian tradition. I'm going to share with you something from N.T. Wright, who wrote a book, a big academic book, Jesus, the Son of God. And this is what he talks about. The proper academic word for end times is eschatology. He says that eschatology is the climax of Israel's history, involving events for which end of the world language is the only set of metaphors adequate to express the significance of what will happen, but resulting in a new and quite different phase within space-time history. In other words, what Jesus is talking about, deeply rooted in the Jewish scriptural tradition, is not the end of the space-time universe, but rather the renewal of the world within space-time. And that the only way that we can really speak about how different that will be, and that is using metaphors that sound like the end of the world. And of course, that event, I believe, is the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The first fruits of the resurrection, when we will all be raised from the dead. So when Jesus is talking here about returning again in glory with the angels, I don't think it's this sort of magical event when Jesus is going to come in a cloud and destroy the earth. I don't see how that fits in the Christian tradition. Rather, what I see in this passage is Jesus saying, pick up the cross and follow me. That means rather than not caring about the world, we have to actually care about the world. We have to pick up the cross. See, I think there's something else going on about that end times talk. It's really just a type of nihilism. It's this sort of cynical defeatism that is so prevalent now in our 21st century modern culture. We as Christians, we can't buy into that because that's not who we are or what we believe. We believe in a God who created and loves the universe. And because of that, we have to do the same. We have to love and care and steward the things around us. I realize this comes across as a theological rant. I apologize for that. But I want to give you all a little bit of an insight into the world of the end times and eschatology and what we as Christians really ought to be thinking about it. Not as this cataclysmic ending of the space-time universe, but rather as God's opportunity for renewing the world that we do live in, and that you and I, as members of the church, as people in the kingdom of God, are partners in that mission. So I invite you to join me in that mission of reconciling and renewing the world for the sake of Jesus Christ. Thank you.